For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live. Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about what are the combinations of yogas which are seen for person having an education or a career in STEM fields, means science, technology, engineering and mathematics areas. So if you are a person who is thinking about getting education or aspiring to make a career in STEM fields, or you already have education or you are studying in these areas, or you already have a career in them, then what are the yogas you need to check for them, that we are going to discuss today in detail. And we are also going to cover all kind of various subcategories, means specialization areas in STEM fields. For them also, what kind of yogas you need to check, that we are going to discuss in detail. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is shown in the description. So we are going to talk about what are the simple combinations for a person having education or a career in STEM fields, means science, technology, engineering and mathematics areas. And I already have made a detailed video on how to check the education of a person. For that, you can go on the card section link above. It's shown there. The link is also mentioned in the description. Watch that video so that you can get a clear understanding of how education of a person is checked, whether the education will be good or it will be weak or it won't happen, how the education level will be, and what are the general areas which are suitable for education, that I have discussed. But in this video, we are going to talk about in detail. Now, so watch that video in order to check the general combinations parameters for education. Similarly, for career, I have made the videos on D10 chart, the Dashamsha chart, which is seen for career analysis. The link is again provided in the card section above. Watch those videos in order to see that how a D10 chart is looked at. And all the combinations which I am going to tell today, you need to see them in three charts. First is the Lagna chart, then the Navamsha chart, and then the Dashamsha chart. So Lagna, it means the birth chart, main birth chart, is seen for everything, all the areas of life. The Navamsha chart is seen for education and marriage, but marriage is not, I'm going to discuss that. We are focusing solely on the education. So you need to see education for Navamsha and not the career. Career is seen from the Dashamsha, the D10 chart, not the D9. So the thing here is that for education and learning, you need to see the Lagna and the Navamsha, the D9 chart. And for career and profession, you need to see the Lagna and the D10, the Dashamsha chart. So these three charts, you have to see the general parameters, and the yogas which I am going to tell now, you have to see that if these planets, these zodiac signs, these are having influence on the 5th house or 9th house, which are mainly seen for education, then they can give education in these fields. And if they are having collective influence on 10th or 11th house also, then they can show a career and profession or a source of income in these areas. So 10th house is your career, 11th house is gains or source of income. So 5th, 9th, 10th, 11th house, you need to see the influence of these following planets, which I am going to discuss soon. And in the birth chart, Navamsha and D10. So D10 for career, Navamsha for education. So now see here, STEM fields, the general planets for STEM fields are Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Sun and Mercury. So anybody who is having education, who is planning to have education, or who already has education or a career in these fields, no matter what kind of areas they are working in, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, irrespective of the area, you can be working in civil, electrical, mechanical, maths, physics, whatever. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm just saying that no matter what area, what subcategory you are, the thing here is that the general umbrella category is governed by Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Sun and Mercury. So these 5 planets are the must. If they have prominent influence upon 5th, 9th, 10th, 11th house in D1, D9, D10, this means that they can fetch you education as well as a career in STEM fields. And the better they are, the stronger they are, the good yogas they are making, the more in-depth learning, understanding, knowledge, and the more good performance in these fields and a good career they will bring in STEM areas. So these are the main planets. Now, after seeing them, you can decide for further subcategories. We are going to take one by one. So first, if we are saying that somebody is studying physics, nuclear science or nuclear engineering, astronomy and mathematics, then for any of these areas, Sun, Mercury, Saturn are the main planets which govern these areas. So you have to see the general planets first. If they are present, then we can decide that, okay, this person can be having a education or a career in STEM areas. But if we have to check further, then you need to see subcategories. So Sun, Mercury, Saturn are the planets which control these areas: physics, nuclear, astronomy and maths. Then the zodiac signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. These are the zodiac signs. And remember, in Pisces, the Pisces Mercury is debilitated, so you need to check its debilitation is getting cancelled. Otherwise, it will create problems. So, but if debilitation is getting cancelled, then it means that Pisces is a good sign to fetch education in these or a career in these fields. Now, next, like anybody who is having or has education or a career in IT, computer science, electronics and communication, telecommunication and networking, electrical engineering, control and instrumentation, any of these, Venus, Mercury, Rahu, 3rd, 9th, 11th house and air signs and Virgo, they will play a majority role in deciding a career in these fields. So you need to see where in the birth chart first, then in the Navamsha chart and then in the D10 chart. If these planets are influencing the career and education collectively, then you can have a career and education in these fields. Then chemistry, chemical or metallurgy. So if anybody is studying chemistry or is a chemist and chemical engineering or metallurgical engineering, they are seen by Moon, Mars, Rahu. Water signs means Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces and 8th house. They are the controllers of these fields. They govern chemicals, chemistry and metallurgy. Then mechanical or machinery or manufacturing areas. I am talking about mainly big machines, big heavy industrial machines. So they are controlled by Saturn and Rahu. Saturn and Rahu are the main planets of mechanical engineering and machinery and production. So if they are prominently influencing the career and the education, in the D1, D9, D10, you will see that the person can have a career or education in mechanical engineering, industrial engineering and manufacturing in areas, those kind of things. Then 8th house plays a very vital role. 8th house is the main house of manufacturing, heavy industries and production. Then Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn and Aquarius means zodiac sign of Mars and Saturn. They control mechanical areas. Then if somebody is in mining or petroleum, so for them, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, anybody who is working in any capacity, I am talking about STEM fields primarily, but let's suppose you are related to these fields somehow, then also Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, 8th house will play a very vital role. So if you are working in technical capacities, of course, very good. I'm talking about those roles mainly, but in any capacity, let's suppose somebody is a manager. I'm not talking about being a manager. Yogas are different for that. But let's suppose you are working in oil and gas sector. These planets will influence your career. So thing here is that Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, 8th house, water signs and Aries, they play a very vital role in controlling mining and petroleum. Anything which is beneath the ground, that is 8th house. Scorpio particularly governs that area. Then Moon, Saturn, Jupiter are the main planets which govern these industries. So if you have education or a career in these fields, then Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, 8th house, water signs and Aries will play a very dominant role in giving them. Then civil engineering, architecture, agriculture and geology, they are controlled by Mars, Saturn, 4th house and 8th house. 4th house is the house of home and land, mainly land. And 8th house is construction and things which are buried beneath the ground. That is 8th house, or which are produced from the ground. So natural resources, mining, agriculture and oil and gas and geology, all these things, they are controlled by 8th house, or construction, that is 8th. So Mars, Saturn, 4th house, 8th house, they play a very vital role. Zodiac signs are like Aries, Cancer, Scorpio, Capricorn. They are the major zodiac signs which control these fields. So if you have a prominent influence of them in D1, D9, D10, then they can show education or a career in these fields. Then aerospace or automobile, anybody who is having education or a career in aerospace or automobile means any kind of transportation. So Venus, Moon, Mercury. Venus, Moon, Mercury are the main controllers of transportation of any kind. But if we are talking aerospace, you need to include Rahu. Rahu is the only planet which governs aviation and aerospace. It does not control any other modes of transportation. But Venus, Moon, Mercury and Rahu, they show aerospace And if any other kind of automobile you are talking about, like on a road transport, then exclude Rahu. So Venus, Moon, Mercury, Rahu, 3rd, 4th, 9th, 11th and 12th house. They are the main houses. Air signs and Virgo, they control aerospace and automobile. So anybody who is having education in them or a career in them, then it means that these planets will have a prominent influence in their chart. So it can be in D1, D9, D10. So D9 for education, D10 for career. Next, biotechnology, biomedical engineering. So anybody who is studying in them or has a career in them. So remember that generally you have to first see the general planets first. So Mars, Saturn, Rahu are the main controllers. They are not the planets of medical science. But the point I am making here is that if Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Sun and Mercury are influencing, they can show STEM fields are good. But along with them, if Moon, Jupiter, Sun, Ketu, they are the controllers of life science. They control medical areas. So if Moon, Jupiter, Sun and Ketu, they are influencing, and for biotechnology you need to see Venus also. So Moon, Jupiter, Sun, Ketu, Venus, they are influencing the career or education. Then water signs and Virgo. Water signs means Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces and Virgo. And the houses are 4th, 6th, 8th, 9th and 12th house. If they are dominant in D1, D9, D10, then it can show that a person can have a career or education in biotechnology, biomedical engineering or bioinformatics. But I'm not talking about a career being a doctor. Doctor is different. I'm going to take other professions also, other kind of educations apart from STEM fields later. We will talk about in another video. But right now, these are the domains of engineering, STEM areas. I'm not talking about medical careers here. They will be discussed later. So biotech and biomedical, they are seen with these planets and these houses and zodiac signs. Next will be, if anybody who is working in any area, no matter what kind of fields we have discussed so far, in any area, if a person is a researcher, developer, inventor, innovator and a scientist, it means they have highly intellectual job profile. For that, you need to see influence of planets which must be strongly placed. Otherwise, a person cannot have a career in these areas. Being a researcher or a scientist, the planets will be Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Ketu, and 8th, 9th and 12th house. And zodiac signs will be Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius and Pisces. These are the zodiac signs, houses and planets which must be very profoundly and very strongly placed with full capacity to give a career and a job profile of being a researcher, developer, inventor, innovator or a scientist. So I hope that you would have understood that what kind of planets are important for seeing career or education in STEM areas and what are the further yogas for each and every branches which we need to see. And I've already told you to watch the videos, the links I have shown in the card section and the description. Watch those videos so that you can know that, okay, how you have to see them. So I hope that you would have understood by now what are the yogas for education and career in these fields. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below. For more, check on my website, Facebook page, Instagram. Their links are shown in description. Otherwise, we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.